guys, it's Who's Phoebe and welcome back to another Doctor Who video. As you guys know, I am doing 24 days of Doctor Who where I review 24 classic Doctor Who episodes as we carry on with our countdown for Christmas. Now, excuse the hair. This is my hair needs a wash in a bun hair, just because like I took it out of the braids today because it needs like a good old wash, so you know, like ignore it. So yeah, I actually watched this episode quite recently, so I figured I don't need to re-watch it in order to review it, because this is like one of my favourite stories and I'm constantly rewatching it anyway. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on with the video. But before we do, if you've never seen my face on your screens before, please click that big subscribe button down there and also click the notification bell so notifications every single time I upload, because you do not want to miss a video. So today's review is The Robot. Now this is the very first story with Tom Baker, who plays the wonderful 4th Doctor, and he stayed on Doctor Who for 7 years. So basically he did more years than any other Doctor. So Tom Baker finished the 70s for us, and then we moved on to Peter Davison. I'm more looking forward to reviewing the Peter Davison episodes because those are my favourite and I feel like you can't really go wrong. Anyway, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent here. I have just woken up. I was feeling a bit tired earlier. Also, this house is ridiculously warm, so the heating is always on during the winter, which I think is personally really stupid. So I fall asleep at random times because like this house is so warm. Anyway, The Robot is a regeneration story and I do really like this, especially because this is the first time we meet Unit Medical Officer Lieutenant Harry Sullivan, who basically used to be in the Navy and was worked on soldiers, but now he's in units. And when what's funny is the 4th Doctor definitely has a different personality to his previous one, because when Harry Sullivan says to Unit that he will do a full assessment of the Doctor in the sick bay, the next day the Doctor goes back into his lab and starts and goes on about, I am the Doctor, I'm the original article, you might say, and all that thing, and to try to prove to Harry that he is perfectly well, and he starts doing star jumps, breaking a brick with his hand. I definitely feel like, I know the Doctor has just regenerated, but this is the very first time we ever see the Doctor behave like this, behave erratically. Obviously his mentor did say that he would behave erratically at first because, you know, he's just a new regenerated Doctor and everything like that, because if I can recall, the 5th Doctor wasn't like that because of how the director told Tom Baker to be. The 5th Doctor wasn't like that. The 5th Doctor was mostly sort of calm and was being cared for by his 3 companions. But I feel like having the 4th Doctor be a bit more active while she's getting used to the new body is an interesting way to go about this. Also, we see the 4th Doctor when, what's funny is to prove to Harry that he's perfectly well, he literally ties him up in a cupboard and locks him in a cupboard. Classic move, Doctor, classic. Also, what I really like about this episode is that this is the last story we get with unit before the Doctor goes swanning off around the universe. So this is a good one for that. I like how when the Brigadier tells the Doctor that they've had a break-in with and a disintegrated gun has gone missing, that the Doctor knows about this straight away. Obviously, we are fully aware that the Doctor knows all about everything, so nothing that unit have goes past the Doctor. He always knows about it, like it's somehow he always knows. It's weird, but he does. And what's weird about this particular story is we have a massive robot being controlled by humans. So it's not actually the monster of the week like we get beforehand with the spiders and everything. This is just a human that is being built by Professor Kettlewell that is now in the wrong hands of the think tank people and is being used for bad. And I do like this because Sarah Jane goes to think tank and she sees the robot at first hand, and then obviously goes back to unit to report to the Doctor what the hell has gone on. And I like that element, I think, because when the Doctor and Brigadier go to think tank, it's weird. Obviously, for Benton, Harry Sullivan goes undercover in this as someone from the government or medical thing, and the Doctor's like, someone can go undercover if they've got scientific qualifications or medical, because that way then they would know what to look for, and Harry Sullivan is the man for the job. And I do love how the Doctor does this whole thing about when Professor Kettlewell calls the Doctor up and says that the robot is hiding out at his lab because of the think tank people. You don't actually know Professor Kettlewell is working with the think tank people until later, so it's actually quite interesting. And obviously when the Doctor gets this phone call, there's a typewriter in his lab and he literally types a note to Sarah, but you can tell the Doctor has quite fast responses because he types this incredibly fast. And I just feel like this is like the perfect regeneration story, because not only do we get Harry Sullivan, we also get a robot, but we get to see a whole new side of the Doctor. Like, this Doctor seems more faster in his abilities to do what he does. He also seems great. He's also a bit childish, which is perfect because it actually comes up with one of my favourite Doctor Who quotes of all blooming time. What's the point in being a grown-up if you can't be childish sometimes? Also, another Doctor Who line that I absolutely love from the 4th Doctor. This comes more towards the end of the story, but I've actually got a sticker of it on my laptop. The thing is, with computers, they're just sophisticated idiots. Thank you, Doctor, for putting that in. I just love that. So this is a really good story. I generally really do like it. The only issues I have with it mostly is the fact that the Brigadier thinks he can take down a robot with a miniature tank. A miniature tank. Is he actually serious? Like, you literally see that scene of a tank coming into camera and firing, and then you're like, and then no wonder the robot won, you know? But also, I also really do like this story. It's not just a regeneration story, but the fact that the Doctor tries on various different outfits before he decides on the classic long scarf look that the 4th Doctor, can I just point out, rocks, by the way. Also, this Doctor has jelly babies in his pocket. I personally don't like jelly babies, and before you come at me in the comments, I just don't. We all like our sweets, our own individual sweets, but I personally do not like jelly babies. So, yeah. So yeah. Also, when the Brigadier shoots the robot with the disintegrator gun, bad move, Lethbridge Stewart, bad move. It doesn't actually kill the robot, it actually makes it worse, it actually makes it grow. And the Doctor is in Professor Kettlewell's lab working away, trying to work out some metal virus that he can use, because he figures that a metal virus would be the perfect thing to destroy it. And eventually he does, and he chucks the metal virus over the robot. And then that's that. The robot has disintegrated. The Doctor goes back to his lab, goes into the TARDIS, offers Harry a jelly baby, and Harry doesn't quite believe the TARDIS is what the Doctor says, so he asks Harry to step in there to check if it's just an illusion. And then Harry walks in and you don't see his reaction, you just hear it, "Oh, I say," and the Doctor and Sarah Jane walk in, and that's it. They go off on an adventure, all three of them. Also, Harry Sullivan is the very first companion you don't actually get to see inside the TARDIS. So yeah. Overall, I'd give this episode a solid 10 out of 10. It's a great regeneration one, and it's also a great way to welcome the 4th Doctor. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure to click the subscribe button down below and also get notifications every single time I upload.